Scene and we're live. Fuck yes. There we go. So I've had like a major week of like upgrades and learnings and just studying and research and
getting
all the things. Yeah, like, and I've talked about this before, obviously, and it's just the experience of using augmented intelligence and just really thinking of it that, you know, like I'm not like just using a thing to just, and it does all these things, like I'm learning.
So
and as I learn and I see the
it,
problems that I'm like going, what's this thing? And I'm thinking about it, and then I find out new, like I go, I need a thing that does this here. You know, can we have a function that does this? Oh, you know, oh yeah, totally. And yeah, it's like, so this week it doesn't look like I've done much, but
you have, yeah.
Oh, hey, you're at your computer there. Hello. That's excellent.
Orion is here.
So so I rebuilt the whole camera system. I've built and then I've gone through been completely rebuilding the pipeline from the ground up. So what I figured out was that all of the smoothing functions and things that I was using, or I was doing, of course, well, I didn't find out, but I thought about.
Yeah.
I thought about the fact that I was using all of the smoothing functions and everything were happening to the quaternions, the fucking angles and rotations, the directions and rotations. And then as I sort of thought about that, I realized that the data was coming from a three-dimensional grid of sub-millimeter precision. Like actually so much precision, too much precision.
Yes, way too much.
Too much precision.
Causing major issues, yes.
And so I sort of like went back and I thought about the pipeline again and how I would perhaps do smoothing and things within a three-dimensional array as opposed to vectors. And so that's what I've done. And basically I've built up I'd say probably a micron level, but I mean, it's not obviously that accurate, but just the pointing is that accurate. And it doesn't seem to matter. Like I've tried to, you can turn it on and off. I can turn the truncation on and off. It doesn't change much.
That's good.
That's good.
I'm having to look up to see you at the moment, so it's all good.
Yeah. And then,
smoother. Yeah.
I mean, it's all the rotations are all the rotations are wrong at the moment. Like I've just changed the whole system and I got up to where I can render it. Like 31 hour ago, I couldn't render it. It wasn't rendering.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the thumb even from the other day. Look at that improvement.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thumb's way better. You're doing really
I'm
well.
onto it. It's happening.
Yeah, it's getting there.
But I went deep into understanding a lot more about how MediaPipe works and its coordinate systems. I've drawn pictures on paper to help myself understand. Like, I've got a good grasp, I think, now. And so I went back through and I started figuring out how to put that in as a pixel-based. And then I've moved, a coordinate-based system versus a vector-based system. And so, you know, and then...
No, much progress.
And then moving the hands, moving the handedness. So this was really interesting. The way I had it previously was once I'd worked out all the things, then I figured out the handedness.
Yeah.
And now handedness is like the first thing I figure out. And so I've actually got to do this whole pre-pipeline, which happens in 2D, that computes the handedness, that then passes that to a 3D pipeline, that then triggers the 3D pipeline. So it starts with all the correct data and it doesn't have to go back and forth guessing about hands and shit. It just knows everything. And so I can have a shorter pipeline that's 2D that like captures that information, that it does really well. And then I pass that off. And then I have a 3D pipeline, which is all still in they're both still in a 3D XYZ grid. And then I got this like this specialized, it's called a €1 filter, and it's like it's a low pass filter and it's dynamically adjusting. And so like if more information comes in, it can increase its capacity, like its bandwidth, so it can respond to fast movement and then to slow movement. So if you move slowly, it can handle filtering slow motions, and if you move quickly, it can then handle faster motions as well. My hands are in a bit of a funny position right now.
I like the whole fact that it was just smoothing the action. So
yeah, well, it's smoothing the coordinates. And then this isn't finished yet, but now the 2D pipeline, what I'm going to do is that the whole 2D pipeline that gets up to a place, to passing, I then want that to actually be always running.
Yep.
And so it does like the preview mode and everything's always running that set. And then it,
what's
regardless.
being pre-configured. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always just running. And then so when you do calibrations and things, you're already calibrating from like a fully smooth to cool set of data. Like you're not bouncing around like that. And you can, before I was actually thinking that there was illusions happening where, because the data that was on screen that I was seeing in the, on the video overlay, not Blender, but the video overlay, it was, it might have been clean, but it was actually running through a different path. And the 3D data was not that at all, you know?
Yeah.
And so while I was trying to hold my hands there and it's like, oh, I'm not getting stable enough. Oh, where do you have to get accurate? You know, now it's just you put your hands up and it's just, it's just, it's grabbing it.
No, you jazz hands at the moment.
Oh, I am, because they're not on screen and I don't have a, there we go, is that better? I've kind of.
No, it's all good.
Look at that, I got my elbows working. They're working well.
I'm doing mine. There we go. Giving you some inspiration.
There's a certain speed I can move at still. I'll have to speed that up.
There you go.
But it's super correct.
Knuckle on the thumb there. There's some inspiration. Oh.
I've got no finger movement at the moment. Something's happened. They've all... I can get something. There's something, see? Something.
Yeah, got it a bit.
Something. I've got to change the poles around, I guess. But anyhow,
it's a work in progress. Oh, welcome to season 8, episode 6. Talk is cheap. Talking tech straight up. That's what we
yeah.
Yeah,
it's my whole day. Like I literally have woken up and I've sat at my computer since for 8 to just working on the pipeline to get it ready so I could use it this afternoon.
Smash it down.
and anyway, yeah, I just wanted to just finish that. But the 2D and 3D pipeline now, the 3D one I've completely rebuilt as well. And I haven't really had time to test it properly, but I have things for different kinds of joints.
Yeah.
For like the thumb will have a different kind of control system. And yeah, it's heaps better. Anyway, it's heaps better. Now I've just got to get all of the...
No, it does. It looks great.
But yeah, as I say, because I've put the data through, now all of my XY like transposing, you know, like in Blender it's this way and this it's this way and it was that way. Y was pointing in, but that's now a Z. That's all wrong. Because I've now got this clean data set. Because before also I was like having this kind of hybrid system because I'd come over from what I started, I was actually using the 2D data sets, not the 3D data sets from MediaPipe. And then I was kind of using the same naming and so I've just dumped all of that now and I'm using like the proper, I don't know, it's all 3D, it's all, yeah, anyway, I cleaned it all up, it's really good. But now I've got to
You've got X, Y, and Z going on now, just to
well, no, they both have X, Y, and Z. Like the 2D coordinates have X, Y, and Z.
Like they can move back and forward within the...
Yeah, they've got a pseudo Z.
Pseudo Z, that's right.
Yeah,
like pretend Z.
Yeah, so I've now kind of dumped that and it was just a bit mixed up and there was a few places where like earlier data in the pipeline was being reintroduced and stuff, like all sorts of little tinsy things here and there, just little, as I cleaned it all up, you know, because you're just building stuff and then you're like, oh yeah, but doing a full audit, just auditing basically and just making sure. So I'm pretty happy. Yeah, I'm going to work on. I've got
doing well.
Yeah, lots to work on. So I will do some work on it tonight as we talk, and because I'd like to get the
everything happens when we do the cheap. We eat, we cook food.
Yeah, because I'd like to get the fingers back operational again.
Yeah, right. They're back up.
Yeah.
Well, big Aussie election side. I guess we got to do a bit of a closer on it since the last week. We were discussing it, and
well, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, my hope was that we would have a lot more independence, and I've been thwarted.
Yeah.
We got less independence. We got less Greens.
Same old, and
not even
more of it. Anyway,
welcome to the one party.
Yeah, well, one party politics.
Well, it's easier to get things done in a short space of time.
It is, and we did discuss that last cheap. The fact that
I don't think we did.
If you're given, well, maybe we're discussing it.
I think we've discussed it between cheap, yeah.
In between the cheaps, yeah. I think it was like pre-cheapings, yeah.
But man, like seriously, like in America, like they've gone like and you ask yourself the question. I asked myself the question during the week. It's like, if you need to go one party to get the things done, then which one what would you use in America? And the answer is Republicans, unfortunately.
Well, they got selected. Yeah, what was selected?
Well, no, if you had to believe that if the vote was going to, if it's possible, would it be possible for it to get no, there's just too many states that would never convert over.
No.
And in Australia, is it possible? Would it be possible to just get a full Liberal landslide like that? And the answer would be no.
No.
So you got to go the other way.
Sadly, yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't want a full Liberal landslide myself. If you want, I'm glad we don't have Dutton, Mr. Potato Man.
Well, I think that was a lot of the turn-off, wasn't it? And evident in the see you later.
Do you know what though? It just it's rigging an election.
Yeah.
So
spending money to get things done.
Yeah, well, yeah, and you're not even much, just the normal money. But what I mean, like, what I mean by just not much is like that. If you talk about rigging an election, people think and I would jump to perhaps like meddling with the machines or which Australia has all paper, or it's all on paper. So somehow something people lying,
additional dirt, fabrications,
like something like that. Yeah. But it's much simpler than that because what you have to do to rig an election is just manipulate what is said by two people, and then they will trash it or not.
Yeah, true.
And what I kind of thought actually, I've never really seen Dutton speak, and possibly I'd have to say that the first time time I saw him speak was his sorry, I've failed you all, kind of in his way. You know, I failed the team.
Oh, exit.
His exit speech is my first time hearing him, and I feel good about that. I mean, I've probably heard him once before, and I don't remember particularly well. And I remember him as a police commissioner, not very well, just that he wasn't nice, and that's just a very simple thing that's not nice. And he had the same face, and I don't mean just because he lost, but he had the same face as Kamala and Biden.
Okay.
Particularly Kamala's face. Maybe Biden's, Kamala's face.
Oh, the look of
and what it was,
bitterness.
it wasn't a face of loss or failure. It was one of like,
thank goodness that's over.
Yeah. And no, but also like not just that, just like shame, like this sort of deeper thing, like where they had to do something. I don't know. That's what I felt like looking at his face.
The price to pay.
Had to pay that. That was the price to pay to make the goodness happen.
Only one was gobbledocking enough to make sure it happened.
Well,
yeah, it's all Pac-Man.
It's what I'm saying. Like if you're wanting to, if what you need is a lot done, and in Australia it's not so bad, we're not in a bad position. We need a lot done, so you need like one thing to happen.
Need to be sorted. Yeah.
So we have that. So then, so you're told you have to go extreme more than you would. Like what?
Yeah.
No, we've got this. No.
$20 eggs.
Yeah. No, well, not even but the policy stuff. Like you got to really push it. You got to really align. And even like, can you imagine? Right? Okay, here you are. Even if you are Dutton, right?
Well, look,
even if you are Dutton, after Trump started doing what he was doing, right? And he started, and it was like going radical. And before maybe you were thinking, I'm going to side with Trump. Even that, you'd have to say,
is there anything better?
That's like even if you were Dutton, you'd have to think. Well, maybe that's not the best. But to continue to like double down, even when that's clearly not happening, suggests like it's not. You can say, well, that must mean he's an idiot. No, I think that means that he's told to keep going.
Yeah. Well, that's it, man.
To keep going, but then we'll lose. You're going to lose. Yeah. That's correct. The losing is about to begin.
Well,
and in that regard, you can rig an election that easily. Like everyone's saying, January, like Mr. Albanese, he had like almost no hope. Like everyone in the house was crestfallen. I could understand that there was no chance he was going to win. Yeah, and we even had like attempts in it. So we had like situations like
scuffles for
blowing up things
who wants to have the big
things
boot?
burning down. Like we've had police helicopters every night over the top of the buildings here, putting the fear in.
Yeah, mate, stirring the pot, mate.
Stirring the pot, the fears, and then
getting the pot stirred. That's it.
And then as a result, we come out the other end of that now, and where do we end up? We actually didn't end up, and everyone's like, this is going to push, and we went away. And what I think is what I'm trying to say, it's like that. Then you make in the same way, like you've got the Dutton was doing an Australian version of the vasectomy van down the road, where he was going so extreme.
Offering the free snip.
Well, he was offering the same kind of extreme that made it like ridiculous. Even a moderate couldn't vote for him. For them,
they couldn't find some sort of ground to.
No, they had to move away.
Aligned. Yeah.
And so in the same way here, they had to move away because it was just too cray.
Yeah.
And when I say that, is like you can't be that tone deaf. It is possible, but to the
isn't
level
there a
of the
grand
win
rule
and the
you don't
goal,
go full. You don't go full regarded.
You don't go full regarded.
You don't go full regarded.
You got to have a little less regard for yourself.
A little less regard. Too much regarding, and you're going to need a bib. All right. You're going to need a little bib to go with it.
That's it, because they're going to unveil. They're going to take away the Mr. Black Line. That's it.
Black Line will just disappear.
And you'll be known. So I think that's what I want to say. I reckon that I say that it's easy to get a country to vote the way you want, and you only have to probably say a few things.
Yeah.
In a few things in a few months.
A couple of guiding things that give people that
you can get told to say them. Just keep going that way. And nothing particular. It's not like a special keyword. You just keep saying the stupid thing more times. Say it. Just go a little longer than you should have.
Yep. And whoever likes the stupid thing the most, or votes for the most stupid thing.
There are people who will. Yeah. I'm glad that in Australia we didn't need to have that other way.
By gunpoint, getting forced into the booth.
Well, we don't, I don't think, I'm grateful that we don't need to have that level of...
enforcement for voting.
Not the voting, no,
people,
the result. Like, if we'd had, and the Liberals had to live up, the Nationals effectively, there are no Liberals, but if the Nationals had fucking come on up, now...
Well, they're going to need friends. They're going to need new friends. Because the other friends they had, there aren't many left.
No. Well, what I was thinking was, it's, what do you reckon? I mean, it seems like it's not really the Liberal Party.
If you're more than the majority, I guess they take your name, don't they?
You'd think, wouldn't it?
It wouldn't be Lib Nat, it'd be like Nat.
The Nat.
The Nat gets it because it's got the most.
The Natnals.
The
Natnals.
Natlibs.
Well, that doesn't sound Natlib.
Or Natibs.
Liberal. So what about Nattles? Nattles.
The localisers. Maybe they get extra friendly.
The localiser.
They'd be localising any misappropriation of their property.
Getting real local with it all.
But yeah, we've got 13 or less than 13 days for the preference drizzle to come in. Democracy sausage has spoken.
Well, That's what I'm saying. I wonder if it has.
What Democracy Sausage truly had a voice.
Yeah. No, I don't think it did.
Do you think the other side didn't quite double down hard enough, perhaps? I heard rumours they had a lot of dirt.
I think we had a basic choice.
They were given a little dirt
basic choice,
but they didn't use it.
Well, I mean, I'm glad to hear that, because the dirt folders they get it's a bit old.
Yeah, I know. It's basically just your monkeys throwing poo at each other, innit?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, this is interesting.
If you play with some decency, you don't need to throw poo. Policies are normally what get you voted in.
They are. Well, but that's it. But that's what I'm saying. But also, but it's so small. Like when we think about it, and we think about there's all these bits and pieces. But actually, what it comes down to is a few policies. So if your policy is like, and it makes it really easy to not be desirable. Like I don't know. I'm glad that the only thing that's really, I think that's, What do you think about the fact that there's not even a green left?
I'm spun out by it. Like that to me, like. What happened, Green? You know what I mean? Like, you had such great ideals, and was it that little bit of, dirt that sort of someone flung and it sort of stuck, maybe? That's what I'm thinking.
Interesting question.
There was some dirt that got flung across there and it didn't quite unstick. Oh, well. Started off with great ideals and, disappeared.
I don't know.
At least Trump had got nothing. Bloody annoying me with his fucking text messages.
Oh yeah, like they're nothing, hey. Then like there was some. I like that meme with IKEA. I mean, it's pity we're not going to put it up, but I mean, I liked it.
Just bombarded people and they just went, fuck that shit. I think they ended up like third last, with the other parties at the very bottom for that wretchedness. But yeah, obviously, you can only do so much, right? You can help them as much as you can with your preferencing, but you can only do so much. And when you get swiftly booted in the butt like they did, both those parties, swift bootings in the buttocks. Like it wasn't one buttocks and it wasn't the other one. It was right down the middle, wasn't it? Bam. Definitely going to be remembered. But 4 years, we'll see where we're at then. Hey?
Well, I can tell you where we won't be at.
Better be some shit done. That's all I can say. Better be shit done.
Well, I don't. I'm not seeing it. Are you seeing any? How is anyone going to do anything?
Well, didn't they make promises for targets and stuff? Where they're going to be?
Did they?
Oh. Well, you'd be hoping that'd work out for a minute. Well,
I don't know.
You got 2/3. Do something with it, right?
Yeah, but most of the things that need doing.
Don't be sitting around just giving yourself pay rises. Do something.
I'm sure they won't. I'm sure there won't be any pay rises, or if there is, they'll be like hell to pay. But more is like what can you do, bro?
Well, you can do what you're told. Isn't that the way?
Well,
do what your owners tell you.
Okay. Well, and well, then we'll see what that is. Yeah. What that should be is like a continued pressure, like whatever it takes to make us reduce consumption of eggs. And I just think like even the word
get down to one every couple of days. Yeah.
That's what I'm sort of talking about too around like even if we were like changing the language around what instead of calling it inflation, what if we call it like consumption management?
Well, that could be it. Consumption management fees.
So that is a why, but why doesn't it then? It must be some kind of
depending on requirement, possibility of a cheap radio station.
Oh, I'm very enthused about the possibility of a cheap radio station. Very
catch-up concert radio station. Getting a lot of hits for the enjoyment of the musical message.
I think the stuff that's coming out, that like the combination of just the pipeline that we've got going there, it's fucking cool. The content that we're pumping out is like
I'm quite impressed with it myself. Yeah.
And what you learned today,
now that I've found your actual scripts, like I've found it where you learned today.
That's changed. That's transformative. Now you can those bits which are like made the song like
I'm so happy that I can now
clunky or that chorus didn't quite end right. Yeah. Now you can just fix that up.
Get in there, change it, bam, and thanks for coming.
Thanks. Transform.
Groundbreaking. No, it was very good. It's good to finally figure it out, because I was sort of looking at it going, So what I did do right was I did it remixes, which does 2 extra versions of the song, but just sort of fills it in a bit, as you probably noticed with the, like it smooths over certain parts, which, probably didn't sound good before, but it adds enough lick to it to make it sound good afterwards. But yeah, sort of tweaking. But yeah, I did that, and then I did the edit, and then I thought, hang on. And you just go straight in, change the lyrics on the fly, and then it gives you 2 possibilities of how it would sound, and then you pick which one you want to patch in to overwrite the section that you've changed. And then it just stitches it back together and pumps it out as another song.
That's good.
Very clever.
That's
very clever.
Yeah,
man, excellent. So good, man. Like it actually shows real thought going into it. in the whole editing process and that. But yeah, very special. I was so blown away when it actually finally worked out. I was like, whoa, okay, good. Milestones in AI song manipulation. But yeah, pump out 13, 14 songs every week with the, the content breakdown with the bits and bytes. No, it's good. I'm fairly happy with the dinosaur handbag, man. Like it just well received.
Yeah, that was dinosaur handbag. I mean,
just cracking.
The
man.
conversation was funny. Like it was fucking funny to have the conversation and where we went with it. And and what's cool, right, is that well, obviously, as you know, since you were there having the conversation,
present and accountable, but maybe a little inebriated.
Sure, but the how the whole linkage into how it goes into space and the kicking the football that actually happened like 20 minutes later. And then because I edited them together and made it into one clip, it's just been able to take that whole transcript and just
go boof
and combine the whole concept.
Kicked a goal.
Kicked the dinosaur. Kicked the
dinosaur got to work, mate. It was living it up. Eh?
Yep.
In the future, making me look good. Well, that's what alligator boots really are. So they're dinosaur boots, aren't they? Think about it.
I mean, yeah, I suppose a dinosaur, an alligator or a crocodile boot.
Alligator skin boots.
Yeah. No, I can pick it up what you're putting down.
If you didn't have to go to all that trouble of T-Rex skin, I imagine it'd be hard to work with.
Oh, well, yeah.
I know alligator. From the guy I watch that does the leather work, alligator's hard enough as it is.
Yeah, would we? Just the skin of a T-Rex.
Working hard.
Yeah, just couches. I don't know. I have actually reminds me. That reminds me of a book.
You could have it buffed or you could have it rough. Like you'd want it rough, wouldn't you? Sit down, a bit spiky, make it worthwhile sitting on. A memorable experience rather than just sitting there all, gee, this feels nice. You want it rough, like you're riding on the dino's back. That's what you want. Dinosaur jockey.
Yeah. I don't. Well, now we've made them. Now we're talking about them actually. If you're jockeying, then you're you know what I mean. There's moving ones. Do we think we need to make a whole?
I don't think so. I think all we need is the skin for the accessories.
I think the accessories, man. I don't.
Yeah, because it's about fashion,
because like you think about the lunacy of the 100 versus the one gorilla. And I'm not trying to, and then you think about that versus one dinosaur. Just one.
What? How many gorillas? 100 gorillas versus one dinosaur. I think
no humans. Like
okay.
we have weapons.
100 people versus a dinosaur.
If we have we have weapons
Good
and
luck.
shit. Yeah. Like if you think a gorilla's hard.
We're
bringing those things back. Oh, we got a whole little collection of dinosaurs.
Yeah, we got this.
Instances of life.
Raptor here. It's got nice chicken legs on it, but you get anywhere near, it's going to kick your guts out.
If I was an AI, I'd be like vying for us to like reincarnate the fucking dinosaurs.
Just let them go.
Because then you could if you're an AI, you're putting it used for the purpose.
I mean, unless you had some serious.
And then you could set them up for yourself.
Yeah, just activate. Set them off and activate. That's it.
Little.
I'll keep going until they lay eggs. Seeing in extra colours, mate.
Well, seeing in extra colours, far out.
Being in the modern age, isn't it? I mean, for some people, they probably don't talk about it. Man. We do. We always talk about it.
Yeah, we're willing to have those kinds of conversations.
We'll have the conversation. There's a reason we got 2 tickets to your reality.
So hang on, just got a one. So that's a hinge.
Yeah, I had to disable the infrared system on the car.
Yeah. No, fair enough.
I saw, mate. I could see it flashing away there, and it's like pissing me off. Very annoying.
You didn't. I can.
Guess you build up a tolerance over time. Have it flash in your eyes all that time. Your eyes can't do anything else except for changing, can they? To adapt to it. Would it be doing damage to you? That's the one thing I'm asking, because it always hurt my eyes, right? Maybe after a while, your eyes just get stingy, getting zapped all the time.
Hold it for a second.
No, I just found it made me tired while I was driving. So
I think it's.
I find I got less tired if I turned it off. Yeah, it felt like it was not aiding me. It was just making me unabled.
It was doing that too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was doing an enabling motion to my driving potential.
So do this, that.
But I don't know, man. Just lights in general. Like most of our LED stuff, it flickers. It's not a constant light.
Oh no, they're on. Yeah. They're on. I'm literally building to a 60 hertz cycle right now.
Yeah, that's right. So in time with your eyes, so it looks like it's always on, but it's not. In fact, it's probably more half on, half off. Think about it. That's the difference between the incandescent and.
Because they actually they still had a hum.
Yeah, they did, but it was more human friendly. I think
the first things I could see in that regard were power lines, and I would be able to look up. I'd look at them and then I would see them like as a echo glow go, and also like
bit furry.
green, furry, and green, like almost like a not like
That'd
a
be like a
lightsaber.
spill, wouldn't
That
it?
sounds like
the
it's very
spill of
big.
the energy. Yeah, energy spill would emanate in a little furriness around it, wouldn't it? They need to figure out some way of being able to insulate that properly, so you don't get the furriness. Prevent the loss, cap it with something which, push that energy back into it, and to keep it from floating out or dissipating. A method of keeping the green gas in there. Green energy gas.
The green energy gas.
Containing the plasmoids. There you go, Si.
Containing the plasmoid. That's what you want to do, is to be able to contain the plasmoids.
That's it, contain the plasma that emanates from the conductive material. Because the plasma would be the drain. They say it's distance which causes it, but and that probably is the case because it evaporates. Energy is evaporating. Energy
is transmuting, isn't it? Like I don't know if it's
well, I guess changing into its.
I think there's like I don't think it's like
not energy.
Right on the index finger.
Some people would say it's magnetic barrier breakdown. Colloidal force, dissipating colloidal forces, like hitting the surface of water at high speed. Hit it at low speed, you can push your hand through it. It's quite permeable. But if you hit it at high speed, then its friction basis or its permeability changes to a solid due to velocity. But I reckon some sort of containment, like that you were saying with the like insulation. Insulation for cabling.
Did you see that thing I sent you? That company that's made like this full-on fusion reactor.
The little friend.
With like almost like it's mega. It's awesome. It's like and they've got like these lasers, that sort of these like things like this fucking.
I was looking at this one where they're using the sun and they're just creating like this steam thing, which was like a little steam engine. It was pretty cool. Using a satellite dish and make the sun. Highly mirrored boiling style.
Oh, really? They're doing a boilings.
Boiling to create the steamage. Very good. Very good. But hey, there are ways of getting energy. We keep being creative, I think, Creating solutions with what you've got.
That's what I'm doing, man. I'm trying my best. Create solutions with what I got.
Yeah.
That's well said. There's something that's making...
Hang on, I'm just going to take your headphones off.
There's something that's making the right...
Pulling back air to stop getting noise.
That's not transferring the data. What's going on?
I think I've got some sort of communication breakdown.
Yeah, sorry, we have. I can see the hands moving. So what I'm going to do is something a bit wild. I know this is a bit of the function of this
break on through
season.
To the other side.
So I'm going to do this. I'm going to have to go index finger is that.
Relocking back to,
And then middle finger is maybe that. I was just trying to find, I guess I'll try a Z, an X, just for the fucking hell of it, on the ring finger.
Memes learning through stupidity.
Sorry, man.
You're right. Modern ways of learning. We've been memeing ourselves the last couple of years, haven't we?
Oh, it's full on.
And you and I do it on a regular, we're constantly memeing each other. But
I wonder about it. I'm trying actually, I don't know if I'm trying to stop. I don't think that's quite the right word. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to create in my own mind.
Get back to language.
No.
Why? Necessity.
Why? The why.
Yeah, necessity.
And remembering, I don't know if you were in part of my field of view. Well, I know you were personally, but like if we, there was the time in the late 90s where email became
the big thing and everyone, the spamming thing.
And you got all the fucking dancing.
And memes are starting to get
that's where you got the dancing chipmunk or whatever it was.
Bitter aftertaste of what they call it,
scrolling pages of just crazy.
Bitter aftertaste.
Send this to 7 people or you'll get like attacked in your sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do I have to endure more of this bullshit? It is the job the internet people have assigned to you. You must troll the memes. No, thank you. I'm getting sick of it. Yeah. Well, it's like drinking dog milk, mate.
That's what they're hoping.
I know it's a chunk. There's going to be a chunk there. Drinking dog milk.
So I've got all manner of different, something's not passing to any of the joint, but the other joints are working.
Okay, it's a bit of through.
Why are none of the hinge joints moving? Something's
lost
Well, I just did a test where I moved all of them to all sorts of wacky numbers, and none of it worked. So I'm just going to change them all back. Gosh, I'm okay. It's -1.
It's a work in progress.
Well,
there will be some errors happening. So sometimes it's the double redundancy. It ends up being because you put in some sort of double redundancy. It's just like it's become extra regarded over the whole subject. Too regarded.
Okay, I'm just tidying that up. Oh, hang on, I'm just going to change that there. And then I'll quit it and try a different approach. So I did quit it, that's nice, good. What are we talking about? In tiny bursts while I try and get my hands working again?
We were discussing dog milk.
Well, I remember a film called Bunny and the Bull.
There was some dog milk involved in there, was there?
Well, Bunny and the Bull, yeah, there's a whole scene under this bridge. It's an amazing film. I can't really describe it very well, but honorably.
Best search it and be horrified. Yeah. Or was it not horrifying? Was it like
no, it's
desirable,
funny. It's funny as fucking beautiful. It's a very sad film, very beautiful film.
Sad, but yeah.
But anyway, under the bridge, and they meet these homeless people, and he is that homeless man does not want them taking his wives from him, which are the dogs. This one dog is like, getting a fancy, like as in like nothing, but to the man, of course, it is serious business. You're sleeping with making eyes at my wife, and the look, I will give you dog milk, and he said you can drink from her. She is always fresh. So yeah, I mean, I've seen a film which plays on the dog milk trope, and sees where it goes. I think that the dog milk trope, personally, in sort of like a dystopian world way, just a dystopian world way, makes more sense than things like Mad Max and shit where they make it into human women. Like I could see us having dogs chained up and milking dogs so that we could have little lattes.
Would want to surrender their bodies to take over the roles of the cows.
Surrender or otherwise.
Feed the human
race
of what they
it's
required.
just, I think that those movies. The dog makes the dog I could see us doing that to a dog, but we would perhaps not. The dog wouldn't run away, so you could maybe there are better animals than dogs.
I know, but probably would provide a lot more milk.
I think so. Surely, surely that's
why
we don't drink dog milk. It's not that we can't.
Like that.
We can drink dog milk.
We're 6.
We're happy to drink dog milk,
or whatever it is.
In a pinch, in a need. I think that's the mistake. Is that the suggestion is that we it's weird, and it's actually that it's just not practical. I've seen camel milk at the shops now.
Have you? Cool. I like all different kinds of milk. Like I'm willing to try it.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, sure. Hey,
why not? You only live once, maybe twice if you're lucky.
Oh yeah, as many times as you need.
True. Those who do.
Seems like it seems like we're living all the times.
Yeah.
Poor old humans.
So dog milk could be an option. Yeah.
There's some kind of fingery finger.
Me personally, I prefer a lactating vegan, but we can't have everything.
Well, why not? Why?
I mean, I'd be happy to pay a good premium price.
Why can't you have a lactating vegan?
Protein transfer. I'll give her some protein. A couple.
Does it have to go there? Can we just keep it onto a service?
Yeah, it could be. I'm happy to just grab the milk out the window. I don't need to see the process. I'm happy to listen to the song and grab the milk out the little fucking window on the side of the wall.
Let's just go on a mess level.
I don't need to know what's going on inside as long as I get my milky moves.
You want human milk. You want breast milk.
It'd be preferable. It is designed for humans, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, no, I'm just checking in.
Yeah.
That's all, not like whatever.
I mean, I drink cow's milk because it's readily available. Yeah. But if it wasn't, then I would need some alternative.
You would?
Yeah. And that would be my first preference. Rather than going straight to the dog milk, I would prefer the alternate milk, human variety. Yeah. It's only fair, I'm not a big coffee drinker. Like I drink a little bit of coffee, so it would only need a few squirts of duck.
I think, this is what I'm saying. Okay, here we go. Is that you could have
20 mil, 30 mil per delivery.
This is how much would you pay?
I don't know for
not like an injection.
I wouldn't go a litre because I think that'd be cruel. But for 500 mils, I'd pay $10.
Okay,
it'd be better if it was warm, not chilled. Personal preference, of course. Fresh is best. Everyone's got their requirements. I'm glad that we have a surplus of cow's milk that we can drink. Things don't have to get complicated then. But obviously, if it's unavailable, then $10 for 500 mils. That's reasonable. I mean, shit, you're paying fucking $6 for 500 mil fucking milk drink anyway. Flavoured milk at the 7-Eleven or whatever these days. So.
Oh, you pay. Oh yeah, you try to find a place where you can get like a $2.50 or no $3.50 drink if you're out and about. It's
impossible. Yeah. Unless you want junk.
So this brings us back. Now that I'm a bit bored with the hands now, it's going to take me it's going to take me a lot of focus to get them.
To get it working.
But when they are, I can see how well they're about to move. I don't know. You can't really see it, I guess. I don't know. Maybe you can.
Yeah. I can now.
Like the responsiveness of the arms, like the hands.
Way better. Way better.
Way
better. Yep.
Well, my finger did something.
Did it?
I think so.
Can it make you jealous? Yeah, I'll make you jealous.
Oh, it was there. Why did it do that? Can I make it wiggle? How did I make it wiggle?
Just to make it jealous.
Oh, why did I do that? I think it's like it's. Oh, hang on. So it's a hinge. Why is it? What if I put back the 1 moment, please? I've just had a complete little think there. The pose wrist proximity, hand labeling, pose. Okay, yep. Do the thing, got the results, got the stuff, hinge. I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to come back to here and the bit which
Reusing old footage, Si.
Reusing old footage?
Yeah. Media outlets being caught using
I'm sorry. No,
old
no,
footage as new footage. You know? And not only that, but just other, people pretending some footage is actual, current footage. Trying to cheat,
I'm just going to
You shouldn't cheat.
that.
It's not good.
Quit this. Reopen this.
Well, it's a good thing we still got the YouTube detectives. Like, they know. They keep an eye
I'm
out.
sorry, you don't have to keep.
it's
Just
all
let it
good.
be dead air, man. It's okay. It's okay.
Let it be dead
Sorry,
air.
man. Let's just talk, bro.
No,
I'm in
no,
solving
you're good.
hands, man. I'm solving hands again.
You're completely absorbed in the solving hands. I think that's probably going to be like it's definitely going to be a fucking catch-up concept, fucking cheap thing, isn't it? The hand, that's figuring your hands out, the baby hands, going through baby hand stage. As an avatar. Would be very similar. Like training a baby to go through all the figuring out how to move the wrists and the fingers and the grabbing. They have a natural grabbing thing.
The beginnings.
He's fighting his way back to hand control. The battle continues.
The red. Whoa, look at this. Look, I've got the hand in the movement.
Thumb going, fingers, rolling.
Okay. I understand. I understand what's wrong. Pretty much.
Oh, man.
This is why it's good to have old code.
I found more turtle chips. The Cheerio turtle chips.
Oh, yeah.
Orion special. I found them at the supermarket again. Very special. They're so good but so bad.
What are they? A chip. Turtle chip.
Turtle chips. So good, man. It's so bad. I
Oh,
love
they
them.
got a turtle on the front. You can get like a.
There's not just the flavour that I picked, the Cheerio.
Oh wow!
There's
It's
other
it's a shape too.
Little turtle shell shape.
Let's see. This is a whole thing. I need to get an image. I need to go to images.
Different flavours too. It'd be nice if they were like a hot flavour. I'd like a spicy one.
Surely there is. Surely. Sweet
You'd think.
corn, truffle,
Spicy, much spicy one.
onion. That's
It was
interesting.
like a chili chocolate, man. That'd just go off.
Whoops. Bing's getting all searchy on me. I didn't need that Bing. It's just wanted you to search. No, why have I got what the? No. So they're at Woolworths. Turtle chips. Okay, here we go. It's okay. Turtle chips are a brand of chips that are made by South Korean snack company Onion. No, Orion. Well, it is.
Orion, man.
Yeah. They get their name from their shape, which resembles a shell of a tortoise.
Yeah.
Turtle chips have been a popular snack since its release in March 2017. According to Orion, the unique crispness from the four thin chips overlapping each other took 8 years to develop. In February 2019, Onion obtained a patent for its manufacturing facility that develops the four-layered plates, giving exclusive rights for the next 20 years. Wow. In April 2023, Orion invested a total of 10 billion won, 7.6 million US, to establish local production systems in Vietnam and India to release turtle chips in the respective markets. In Vietnam, the product name changed to Masita, which translates to delicious in Korean. In India, the snack is sold as turtle chips, following the same product name as exports to the US, Australia, and the United Kingdom. Orion developed 5 new flavors for the Indian market: Mexican lime, sour cream and onion, tangy tomato, masala, and spicy devil.
Spicy devil. What are these?
But here are the flavors that are available overall. Sweet corn soup, original.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah.
That's the original. Cinnamon, sweet soybean, chocolate Cheerios.
Yeah, which is the one I'm enjoying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're the ones I've been enjoying.
Yeah, wow, yeah. Sweet vanilla. Shrimp. Seaweed.
Shrimp would be good. Shrimp would be awesome.
Seaweed, truffle, flaming mala, pink Himalayan salt. Oh, wait, the next one. Steak wasabi. Oh, I want a steak wasabi. Where do I get this chip?
Where to get these fucking
How do I
chips,
order?
mate?
I want some tonight. How do I order these things?
Because the only ones I've seen at the
think they're
Woolworths are
Woolworths.
the chocolate Cheerio ones. Woolworths, if you're listening, you get those fucking flaming ones over here. We want the hot ones, mate. We love hot. Right? Get them hot ones over here, mate.
Turtle chip. Wonder where you can fold
Maybe
a
that's what you
can
need
in.
for the hole in the wall side.
Well, no.
See if they're suitable.
I don't think that. Oh, Looking around, food shops. No.
I think we're only just getting the chocolate ones over here. Sad.
It's sad.
Very sad. I mean,
I'll go to
even
like an
the
Asian
teriyaki
store.
would have been awesome.
I'll go to like a
Simon.
general Asian store, see what I can find. Where are they Korean?
Maybe
Maybe I'll go to a Korean store.
Actually, there's a general Asian at the Brown Stains.
But there's more. Cheddar cheese, flame and lime, which is a US exclusive.
Oh,
Mexico barbecue, which
that
is
would be good.
a China exclusive. Mexican lime, sour cream and onion, tangy tomato, masala, and spicy devil. There you go.
Might have to just like contact an Asian shop over in Korea and just get them to import some, send them via mail or whatever.
Now they mention Woolworths mentions the onion turtle chips choco chorito, caramel popcorn, sweet vanilla. So it's mainly the sweet ones, and then they do have the original, which is corn soup.
Yeah.
And then
Which sounds good anyway. Like
I'm just going to check out the ingredients. So milk. I mean, I would have thought that particular flavor would have had milk anyway. Not a very good example. I wondered if they would have shown by,
because the sweet ones are all good, but I like the unique flavors.
Yeah, I would have thought they would have been. I mean,
because they got plenty of chili, everything else. Like even what's his name, the lion or the leopard. Cheerios, or Cheetos, Mr. Cheetos. Even they got flaming ones.
Well, it's a crazy thing. I mean, look, okay, the original is this corn soup. So ingredients: turtle chip pellet is corn flour.
Yeah,
that's corn based. Sugar, salt, palm oil. How's this? Palm oil, raising agent, canola oil, vegetable oil, and then vegetable oil is palm oil, canola oil, corn soup seasoning, sugar, roast corn flavored powder, which is soybean and milk, sweet corn powder, flavors, salt, fructose, corn flour, or corn flavor, which is wheat, flavor enhancers, usuals, anti-caking agent, thickener, oak mushroom extract.
Oh, got mushrooms in there.
How about that? Acidity regulator, parsley, color, sweetener. That's interesting, a sweet 960. Preservative. It's actually got a sweetener with sugar, or multiple sugar. It's got 2 sugar, 3 sugar, 4, 3 sugars, 2 food and flavor enhancers, and a sweetener. And then we've got a preservative, acid, butter mix, powder, milk, sweetener, another sweetener. Yep.
You're getting your money's worth, mate.
Another oil, sunflower oil, milk cream powder, emulsifier, and then molasses powder. The last thing, and it's molasses.
Wow.
What a beast.
Yeah, that's everything. I mean, that's your whole dietary intake in one go.
Funnily enough, it only said the only allergen it lists is wheat. It misses like...
the gluten and...
Well, it says wheat, but it doesn't say dairy. So it definitely doesn't say dairy. And like, I don't know. I react pretty poorly to canola oil, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not favourable to the cyber.
Isn't it? No. Do you find... what do you think of it?
Oh, it doesn't worry me. You know me. He who eats sand.
Don't eat sand, brother.
Yeah, don't eat it now.
That's rough. Sand is like...
It's good to clean your insides out, yeah.
No, it's just scratchy.
You need to clean out, yeah. But not advised.
It's scratchy.
We do not endorse eating sand unless you're a child and it's just a new experience, and you'll probably be right. But yeah, best not to eat sand as an adult.
Eat loam. Eat the sandy loams. I think that you'll have much better. The loam. Sorry, not the loamy. The more anything that's got more, anything with less sand. Sand is just
Get a mud pie.
Yeah, it's so scratchy. Clays.
Clay cake. Go to clay cake.
Yeah, it's so gritty.
Add extra mosquitoes to protein.
Fucking gritty, man. Got to get your real grit. Whenever I would see American shows as a kid, and they would talk about eating grits, and I would think about like things to me that I ate that were grits, And examples of would be like sand.
Yeah.
If I grew up on a beach, I'd be like, grit. Fuck, what? It sounded like a real
black
food
beans,
of suffering.
unless you soak them right, they are pretty fucking chewy.
Grits.
The grits they're talking about, like the little black bean things.
In America?
They're unless you soak them right, then
Is it a black bean?
Chewy.
I thought the grit was more of a oat type thing.
Oh, well, maybe thinking. I'm not sure, but to me it was always like a little black bean type thing. Yeah, like a
Tell me about this black thing.
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe
I thought it was more
mistaken.
Like gruel. No, I'm mistaken as much as you, man. Neither of us are American.
Tell you about witchetty grubs if you want to know it, but yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Tell you about yams. We can talk about
You
yams
want to
and
talk about
shit.
witchetty grubs? I'll tell you what I don't share. Is Christmas beetles.
Yes.
Beetles in general.
Lack of.
God, eh?
Not there. Missing. MIA.
Sad. Like completely. Like not even. You remember like it used to be almost like a little bit of a plague. You'd be like,
Inundated. Dogs eating them, shitting out little rainbow sprinkle turds.
crawling up the thing.
And we used to have quite a few of the rhinoceros beetles and shit. Remember them?
Remember a rhinoceros beetle?
Yeah, especially making their little...
When you fall from them, come in the house, you know what I mean?
Yeah, be fighting each other, like battling for the female. Remember them days?
Wow. Remember them days, actually, yeah. Far out. They're actually a fair while ago.
No more.
I haven't seen a beetle. Been out in Alice Springs, but even in Alice Springs, I want to say, even in Alice Springs, and that's a long way out. In the time I was there were less. Like I remember these years, and it was like crazy. Like, and it's not like there would be heaps, but yeah, even there, like they certainly reduced a lot. But there's someone here in Sydney mentioned.
Well, you get
the
that
other
when
day.
you spray a lot, like that. You know, trying to control other creatures, you inadvertently knock out the ones that you really like.
Well,
and normally they're the type of creatures that are so sensitive that you won't be getting them back.
no.
They're gone when they're gone.
There's little insects and stuff, man. No.
When they're gone. Yeah.
Well, and it's dramatic. I mean, if I tried to tell a young person today, you tried to tell them about how
there's people that still remember the giant moth side.
coming out of the trees.
Yes, the mega moths.
These mega ones are long, like giant cigars, down burrowing deep.
Outside, coming out of the eucalyptus and shit.
Coming out of the eucalyptus, exactly.
Spending years in there, making their way from the bottom to the top, and then emerging and big AF moth.
But now, yeah, imagine trying to tell a kid today about how that's how it is. Oh yeah, these like hundreds of insects and plagues, and be like, you'd be nervous to go outside because they'll be crawling on you.
Well, I remember when the mosquitoes were that thick, but if you didn't have, no, yes, the insects missing.
Well,
yeah.
I think whether we can admit it to ourselves or we can't, that the thing that really has changed is like wireless network, is electrical signals.
Yeah.
Going back to like what you were saying earlier about seeing electrical stuff.
The bombardment of that, whatever you'd like to call it, the disturbance in the medium. Incompatible with those creatures.
Just frequencies.
Scares them away.
That's what makes it noisy.
Kills them. Yeah.
Repellent to be them. Imagine if there was just like a communication signal that was at, whatever.
Same frequency.
150 hertz or something.
Fly out or whatever. Operate at. It'd be painful.
Like how we use.
What would be painful? Like crackling
Like
away.
how we use certain ranges and.
You'd want to be away from it, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Imagine something using it like at 1,000, 2,000 hertz. Just constantly. It's just like like you couldn't
guess you'd
sleep.
migrate. You'd
couldn't
migrate
anything.
to positions where it
all you
wasn't
could
there.
hear all day, all night.
Is
It
the
was just
ringing.
constant. Like, and not busy.
pounding your poor little beetle skulls.
It's quite easy to imagine as a human. It should be. I think it seems pretty easy.
Well, people are affected by those waves. Needing to.
People like to
live
not believe
away
that
from
though. Oh no, that's bullshit.
Well, if it applies to the thick-headed humans, do you think it'd apply like 1,000% to the insects?
It's not even that we killed them. We just made them go away.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're not here anymore. They're
cicadas
not
hold
around
out
us.
a bit, but still, even cicadas.
I noticed, in the city, they're not a noise. They're not even there. In fact, there's more like the 5G and the whatever transmissions, microwaves and all the rest of the shit. It sounds more like cicada noise than cicadas do. So they're just like, oh no, this place is already permeated with that fucking noise. We'll go elsewhere to make our noise. There you go. Because we can't hear something. There's subsonics and ultrasonics that we only just barely hear. Maybe the systems were designed to push those things away.
Barrier of effect. Well, I don't think so. I mean, it's
Nature
maybe.
control.
I'm not saying it's not.
Inadvertently ended up being nature control. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, well, not created intentionally, but more a side effect.
Because if we were doing it intentionally, they'd be like promoting it.
True.
And putting it up
So
around crops and
more as
stuff.
the side effect of it. Having that, always connected availability. Sorry,
And people don't notice. Like you just don't notice. It's like,
well, it's gradual.
They're little.
Yeah, as you're
it's
ramping
gradual,
it up.
it's little.
Yeah, as you're ramping it up from the
And it's sort of
infancy
like,
to the
they
full powered version. Yeah.
those insects, they're seasonal. They don't come around every year. Don't they come out every, like the first thing you do is make an
17
excuse.
years, every 25 years, and then every 100 years now. Yeah, right. Why is that? Because during those 100-year cycles, or 70-year cycles, or 20-year cycles, they have major failures in the networks where the comms equipment goes down, so they've actually got some peace and quiet when they can fly in and fucking do their business and fucking get their next generation going. Pretty damn sad existence, in between fucking power outages, getting your nookie on.
Well, being able to hit, anything, survive.
Yeah. Have some sort of semblance of your own thoughts rather than being overblown by it. We can see why people they want to get as far away from tech as possible. Drop everything, get out there and, attach their pubises to the tree and give it a good hug, even necessary, give it a kiss. Far better vibes coming off that than out of your local mobile tower.
How would you just make energy? Interesting.
The equivalent of hugging a tree energy. Little hug a tree spots, completely surrounded by Faraday cages where you can just go in and push your pubis against it and get that instant recharge you need, Grounding stations, that's the one. There you go. Make it electrical. Solve it every time. Once was a carpenter, now electrician. Oh, congrats on the new Pope while we're talking about carpenters.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Well,
Pope Americana.
You're going to have to thank the carpenter and the Pope.
Yeah, the Pope. Pope Americana.
Same Pope
Hells
Americanus.
yeah,
Look,
I wish them the best.
if you're skeptical at all.
No, I'm not skeptical. I'm just saying I wish them the best, right?
Because,
I got no problems with the Pope.
Oh, come
I just
on.
hate wearing the hat in between the popes, mate. Like that fish hat is heavy, okay? Having to wear that fish hat hurts. And having it on for too long, it makes you cranky. So the quicker it gets passed from one to the next, the best. Don't want to wear it for too long.
It's a hungry one.
Gives you headaches, mate. Gives you more headaches than, living inside a mobile tower, transmission box. But yes, the white smoke appeared and Pope Americana. It's good, it's good. I feel like they're winning. Like there's much winning going on. More winning. That's what I feel like.
More winning.
More winning.
Well, no. Look, I think that because the natural processes aren't at play.
Yeah.
And so the amount of winning.
You think there's a bit of supernatural action going on? So
I think there is. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know you can buy an angel for $1,000.
Well,
American.
If America can sell angels, and it seems people scoff.
If you're going to stock up for the apocalypse, wouldn't you want to have a couple of angels on your side, mate?
You wouldn't.
Yeah, of course you would.
And for how much does it cost for an angel?
$1,000.
Dow?
Yeah, Dowie. Quick, 1K, 1K buckaroonies.
Wasn't it limited to American system? You can buy it from overseas. You can buy American angels. It's like
I think they can import angels, and you definitely get your little silver cruci. Can't go anywhere without your silver cruci for the mantelpiece, mate. Vitally important. But it being silver, it covers both werewolves and vampires simultaneously. Vampire comes in, silver crucifix, bam, burning. Werewolf comes in, silver crucifix to stab him with it. Silver kills them, They don't like silver.
But
Dual purpose.
you get one with $1,000.
Well, $1,000, mate. You got the angel. Like if it doesn't work on the vampire or the werewolf, you got the angel to back you up. Yeah.
You don't need no crucifix.
If anything, the crucifix is just a verification that you spend $1,000. To make sure the angel's going to be there. Yeah.
Oh, you do. You do get a crucifix.
Must be attached. Well, it must be attached to the crucifix. So as long as you got the crucifix handy, you get the angel support.
I remember seeing that. You get quite a decent crucifix too, don't you?
Yeah, it's solid, man. You could, if you didn't, burn the vampire, or nail the old werewolf across the top of the head with that thing, you'd probably do some damage, mate. I think it was fairly solid. Like for $1,000, you want a solid fucking, silver one, wouldn't you? You wouldn't want to
saw somebody you
want to be clocking the werewolf with it. Yeah.
When I first saw the ad, I was a little bit skeptical. I thought it seems a bit cheap.
What, $1,000 for an angel? Well, there's myriads of them, isn't there?
But it seemed cheap.
You read the Bible, mate, $1,000 for an angel. There's myriads of them.
However,
it's a fire sale, angel fire sale.
On reflection, I had to reflect on my, disbelief.
Okay, yeah. Most people, that have got a thinking mind do. They do reflect on it.
And I realised that it only costs you $1,500 to become like a Jew, and that's to pay off the whole God.
Okay.
So you can pay off a whole God that requires 100 generations of women to only pass you down.
Floppy years is pretty cheap. It doesn't
cheap. $1,500. So $1,000 for
that's undercutting them.
I reckon, it's undercutting.
They're doing an undercut.
And that's a personal angel.
It is salvation.
That's a personal angel. It's not just recognition.
What is the price of salvation?
A God. Where it's the God will right, okay, no worries. Yeah, no worries.
Special favours.
Yep.
Call in the 3 wishes. Just be careful of what you wish for, of course. Be exact about it.
Yeah. But so you can get your $1,500, and that's plus an ongoing fee.
Yeah.
Right. With $1,500 is an annual.
You always got to pay your membership annually. Yeah, that's right. But annually or annually. Yeah, depending on which religion.
Yeah, what you can afford. What you can afford. Yeah. All types all currencies are taken.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
ever loving God.
That's what I mean. Going back, and and I suspect if you for example, and I'm just using the Jewish God because I looked up because my grandfather's my heritage to my grandfather.
The heritage is
I'm curious about learning more, but I was told I had to pay money,
has always been
and
the
I had to perhaps a little bit of
Satan
worship in the background. You never been told about the money. I learned that you could pay to become one. I thought, oh,
Yeah.
Let's say $1,500, 1,000, and you'd have to pay for like other bits. Like if you wanted like the special,
the
like
keggers and whatever.
the you know,
get involved in the keggers
the
with the old guys.
candelabra or other bits and pieces, or Christian, if you wanted a thingy like some rosary beads, they'd cost you money.
Beads,
They'd cost you money.
And it depends on which size you like. You can have the little ones
But
that
with
go around your wrist
$1,000
or the
and
other
a
ones, the
personal
bigger
angel,
ones.
you get a fucking giant Demonte cross.
Yeah, yeah. And it did look pretty fucking shiny side. Like it was very attractive. What? Like I did sort of get a bit of a semi when I saw it. Like
I thought, this has got me
a bit stand-up-ish for it. I was like, oh.
It had potential. You could see that up on the, you'd have that sort of out the window, and people would know to keep away because you had that angel.
Well, I'd have like one of those red lights that sort of flickers, so it looks like it's got a bit of flame coming off it, the burning bush style. You definitely, if you've got a nice little cross that's sort of flickering, people do get worried about that, don't they? They double check and make sure you ain't got that all white outfit, Yeah, could be misconstrued, your patriotism versus actual Christianity, definitely have the little, warning on the window where it says, this is a representation of the burning heart of Christ, not, some, angry messages against the people with,
what else you got? You got personal angel. It didn't seem time limited. I'm just going to say personal angel.
I think there was a certificate and some other thank you stuff and the usual. Because I think the 1,000 was the minimum buy-in. So if you did the 1,000 plus the little bit extra, maybe you got the bonus stuff. You could
Did you get an invite to anything? I didn't hear about that.
You could have got the self autographed.
Oh, is there levels?
Special, the Big T Bible.
Am I missing something here? Did I miss?
Maybe there could be extras.
There was I only thought there was one level. Of course, what was I thinking?
Come on, mate. In religion, there's multi levels. You were talking about it with the old, your kin. Your kin has multi levels. You can pay for the extra stuff.
You can pay for the extra stuff. I just didn't.
It ain't cheap to afford. Like if you knew how much I was paying for the Friday parts 2 and 3, like the actual, the being able to use that clause, like it costs a lot, mate. Costs a lot to maintain that. It ain't cheap. But I'll never e-beg for it. I'll never go to that stage where I need to e-beg and ask people for donations. No.
To support.
No. What I do is there's enough there to be able to afford it, okay? And, since the new changes, I don't work on the Sun's Day anyway, so I don't have to pay for the Friday part 3 unless I want to. Like if I want to earn extra money, then I'd pay for it. But I don't have to pay for it. I only just pay for the part 2. Yeah. And luckily this week it wasn't a part 2. I got my Sabbath off, mate. I did fuck all. I didn't do anything. I didn't lift anything at all. Not one fucking thing.
Well, the whole weekend.
Well, no, just for the Sabbath, the usual ritual. I just took it real easy, mate. I wasn't going to do shit.
That's good.
I was listening to Dinosaur Handbag most of the day, mate, just trying to spruik it, get a bit of spruiking going on. Well distributed across the medias that I'm, presently connected to.
Well,
including X, even put a couple of stamps down there.
Well, the question is,
X on my way to success, can't sign shit. Say no to furry violence, Si. I think it's pretty important. We learn to respect each other's boundaries.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important. I don't go full fursuit, but I think it's awesome, and I think like being able to dress up and have fun,
and however you want to express yourself. Yep.
Dress up and have fun.
Yeah.
Do you remember, being a kid, you wanted to?
Yeah, of course I do, mate.
And I think this whole thing of oh no, you're
wait
an
till
adult,
you're the fireman or the doctor.
It's okay if you're a little kid, but what does it tell little kids?
Yeah.
Little kids dress up. The fairy thing, whatever. Put a little thing on. They see that.
Do the Halloween special, yeah.
They go to the, do you want to put the caddies on? Oh, no, Daddy, I think we're going to get attacked.
Putting the fear in there for, wanting to have some fun. I think it was a bit ignorant, like, to think that someone, because they dress up, is automatically categorised as something,
Well, like what? Like what did they think?
Well, making assumptions that just because you,
that you
enjoy dressing up as an adult, that you...
Oh.
Well, yeah, you're favourable to being because of a preconceived notion that, maybe you're, minor attracted or whatever you want to call it. But not having receipts, automatically thinking that that's the case.
Okay.
Because, making accusations is, and violence are two different things.
I just want to check.
Yeah.
That what we're saying is, it's okay to bash people on the street if, as a citizen, if you suspect them to be a pedo. Is that what we're saying?
Well, apparently that seems to be the case.
That's
like
okay.
That's
the thing.
Not from my point of view.
Let's go.
Well, that was the accusations that were being thrown. Thrown out for the premise of probably being extremely, attracted to the thing, but in denial, of course, couldn't handle their own denial of the semi that was going on, so they had to act violently to prove manlyhood.
So should I bash other people who I think are likely
they're just
to be
sexually
pedos?
attracted to. I guess if they were, willing to accept that behaviour, then you'd maybe go down that path. But
So
I'm not one that would want to do that.
people
That's
who
not my
wear-
cup of tea. Yeah.
people who wear-
I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover. Yeah.
people who wear fox ears are likely to fiddle with little kids, yeah? So you see one on the street, you're a vassal.
That's pretty harsh. That's like almost going back to the old 70s days when,
Let's follow them,
pull out a
Shane.
fag and bash him in the park, What the fuck? Are we going back to that shit again? Like we reliving it?
No, but this is for important reasons. It's because these people hurt children, play it field with sexually assault children.
Was there
so should we,
receipts?
like,
was
let me
there,
think
was
of
there
other
proof
people
for
like-
that behaviour?
Well,
Or was
I
it
can
just
tell
a
you there is
whole
proof.
stack of assumptions going on side?
I can tell you where there is
Because I
proof.
think half the time that shit is just assumptions. And
I'll tell you there is proof.
like we
Police.
talked about, it's just, closet fucking wanting to be a
Priests.
furry and jealousy. Just pure jealousy.
No,
That's what the
priests.
motivator is,
Priests, police,
Yeah.
politicians,
Get the list started. That's right.
rich
All
people,
those on the Jeffrey Epstein list.
musicians.
Yeah.
Any of those people. You see anyone on the street getting out of like a Ferrari, should be able to bash them. Because
you know they're
that strikes me as somebody who's a pedophile,
Yeah, they got enough money to be one. Yeah.
Well, I mean, but
Diddy special.
like, if you go out and look at things like
Gatekeeping.
people who they tend to be people have like certain capacities, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, so this person with a furry up, you bash them. Oh, did it because you're a pedophile?
Well, you get a little bit of, that angst out, you
Go straight into a church.
Instead of just asking them out on
Go
a
straight
date,
into a church and
maybe,
just bash, just start
appreciating
bashing the priest while they're in the middle of the thing.
appreciating
I'm protecting the congregation.
Yeah.
I'm protecting the congregation. Start smashing him. He's been raping the children. Everyone's screaming.
We've got video of it. I was filming it while he was raping them. Of course.
Well, I question.
I'm angry because he wouldn't let me wear the head.
I question if this person who bashed this furry, I call him a liar.
Yeah.
I say that they did not bash the furry because they thought that they were sexually attracted to minors. I don't say that they
Calling
bashed
it
the
out,
furry.
because they were sexually attracted to the furry.
Oh, no.
Some sort of childhood, kink was
Because they're an
coming out,
arsehole.
when they were watching cartoons and they were sitting in front of the telly as a kid. Always wanted to, have sex with the wolf, the big bad wolf on the three little pigs.
I'm not going to try and figure out their psychology in particular
No, I
reason
know,
why.
but you could imagine,
But what I'm going to say is, that furry, like if you've got a little child alone in a park,
just trying to do kid things,
when
playing
I say
and
like
shit.
they got like a kid like that,
Yeah,
you know how
enjoying
that
their
could be
life,
like seen as like a target, like a predator.
Oh yeah. They're there all the time, right? If you want to listen to the news.
But you know what I mean?
Every
Like
park's
you'd see
just
like a
sitting
child
there
alone
lurking.
playing by themselves in a park in the early dark, so it's getting dark.
Yep.
That's target.
Going through the usual profiling, oh, there's one, they're alone. Haven't seen their parents even interact with them.
Target for a predator, yeah. So in the same way, a furry walking down the mall in broad daylight is a target for assholes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really brings out the asshole in people.
Oh, of course.
The same way.
Mr. Jealous, Mrs.
Imagine
Jealous.
that.
Like,
Imagine you're gay and you're living in a society.
Super
where
closet. You're super
You've got to
closet
be really
where
hidden
you've
for
got to
being
be
gay,
hetero
because
as
you're going to get
fuck.
real big trouble.
Yeah.
But you see the most beautiful boy you've ever seen, and your eyes just sparkle a bit.
Dressed up to the nines in the special suit.
You try and give a little side in the same kind of way.
All these full-on emotions going on while you're looking into the eyes of the
arsehole
furry. That's it. Yeah.
looks across at this furry. You're so free
Sees
to
a
be yourself.
beautiful flower and just has to smash it.
Well,
because of that, the built-in
being allowed to
anger
be
at
themselves.
himself. Built-in anger at themselves for not being themselves. Yeah.
How dare you be allowed to be,
Be something that I
yourself?
always wanted to be.
Well, to be themselves. I'm not saying the person who hits them wants to be a furry.
No,
I'm saying they want to be an asshole.
No, they just want to be free to be themselves. Who knows? They might want to just wander around in fucking bikini and shit, and nice pair of heels.
Well, clearly they want to be an asshole. Because when they come out in their true self, they just beat the shit out of someone fucking wearing a cap.
They're prepared to be violent. That's right. Yeah.
Prepared. They are being violent. It's not prepared.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
kicking someone in the head is fucking
I'm
being
prepared.
violent.
I never hit anybody.
I remember when we first met old Wayno. That was his first thing. The first time we met him, he was just flying kicking some fucking dude in the head.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not prepared. He's doing it.
Yeah.
Prepared is like, if needs be, you're not like demonstrating it.
No.
The one that
No need to play it out. Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
prepared.
Oh, we're prepared to play it out. Cool. But,
I don't mean to do it.
just because I see someone doing
Means
their
that's why
thing
I
doesn't
don't
mean
do
I
it.
need to do it. Yeah.
That means why I don't do it. These people take it serious enough. They're like, oh, I can hit.
But I think half of it, like you said, but it's just jealousy.
Yeah, and it's
They
to me,
can't
the
be
jealousy.
they can't be their own self.
Yeah, they can't be their own self. And who their own self is an asshole. And you think about it, like, all the people who's like, okay, is it acceptable to like, cruise down the street with, I don't know, big holes in the side of your cheeks? Like 10 years ago it wasn't, now it is. It would be harder to get a job in a bank still, but you probably could. And you know, and if you're gay or whatever, lesbian, or like,
whatever life choice you make.
so, you know, and if you were like a cosplayer who was a finance banker, that's your choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, if you're a furry, right? Now, so you go into the thing, oh, and what do you do on the weekends? Oh, yeah, I'm a cosplayer, you know, and you're like 25 and you're just coming out of uni, you've got your masters and going for your masters in banking. You know, you can be a cosplayer. Well, you're in the meeting, you're like, no, I'm a fucking asshole. I like fucking hitting cunts that fucking annoy me, they look ugly or make me like feel uncomfortable. I bash them. You know what I mean? They're like, well, we don't probably hire people like you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they've got to really hide. Like you think a gay person has to hide. You think a person with a cock ring has to hide. Like if you were in a street in a crowded bus, crowded train, and you fell over and suddenly people realised you had a cock ring on, you'd get a few laughs, but most people would look away. Or maybe look. You know, they'd look away, look, or have a laugh.
Maybe give you the look and then look away.
Yeah. You would be pretty pressed to have that. It's possible, but you'd have someone who's like, oh, yeah, fucking deviant. You know what I mean? You might get, might get it if that happened. But if you slipped out as an asshole in the middle of the street and hit a furry, for example, because you're such an asshole, you just fucking had to bash some cunt, right? Because it made you feel uncomfortable, cunt. Then, and then you go to jail. You're getting arrested to be yourself. You know, like the person slipping over the cock ring, they're going to get a snicker, a few looks. You hit it, you become out. That's the risk of being an asshole. The assholes are, you know, and people talk about like how like being gay, you're not safe to come out as a gay. Imagine coming out as an asshole. You'd lose your job, family, all the things. You have to sneak around.
It'd be the worst, mate. Yeah, everyone would know.
And so that's what I mean. Like that furry, they're like a special, like they're like a girl with a little tutu, like sitting there eating a lolly, like at 7:30 in the evening, going, "Where's my mummy?" in the park. You know what I mean? We should have furries placed, like located around in like potential arsehole districts to be able to lure them out, and so we can catch them. You know,
that's it.
Special
before
catching.
They actually, you know, vent out on an innocent.
Innocent. What it could be anybody. It could be a child dressed as a cat. Having fun,
who knows, man?
You know, just playing around. You know, they're like 9 or 10. Imagine like someone who's like an autistic kid, who's like 12 or whatever, and they're a bit taller, and they're playing, and they're like, and they think it's like a shorter girl or something like that, and they just go over and just thump this fucking 12-year-old kid because they're like dressed like a
best having the experienced well padded furry there to take a bit of the brunt.
I think so. I think we need like furries to like be able to step out there and step out there with people who can like
vigilante furries. You know, willing to take a bit of punishment to help the community.
With some normie supporters, so that they can like just be there, and then before they get the shit kicked out of them, they can just come in and just fucking
friends turn up,
take down the arsehole, expose the arsehole.
Yeah. Make sure you got everything.
All that arsehole, show that arsehole in front of everyone.
Be that YouTube detective.
We found another one. Look who he is. Let's get his ID out. Oh, look. Colin Baker it is. Hey. You know what I mean?
Knows you now, mate.
Everyone knows, hey, can't hide now. Can't hide behind your special mask. No. You just stay with you're standing there with with your fox outfit on. Hey, can't hide behind your special mask now, Mr. Arsehole. Just throw him down on the ground, just kick him out. People are laughing and you fucking arsehole, spitting at him. Fucking arsehole. Gets put up on social media. People are just like, oh man, like girlfriend leaves immediately.
Yep, Tom's home house is empty. Everything's gone.
That's right. Social credit just collapses. Banned on platforms. And it's denied. Tries to go to pub.
Sometimes you've got to go a bit hardcore to weed out the
I think so.
total arseholes.
Yeah. And I've been seeing the furries like coming. I've been seeing the furry rate like it's coming like for quite some 15 plus years, 16. But
costumes are getting better. The electronics behind it are just amazing.
I mean, some of the outfits, mate, it's amazing.
Yeah.
These ones where I can't pronounce the word yet, but I might follow this like person. Zipper suit people. Yeah. I want to follow a zipper suit person.
Well, it sort of gives you the whole feel of the,
I got like, I want one of each.
The full anime experience
just to observe like how they run their businesses and like actually how they run their businesses and like support them as a creative. I think it's interesting. And, like it doesn't have to be like don't have to go and OF on them or anything. It's fine.
No.
Imagine
checking out the different lifestyles. It is a you don't have to be violent to observe it.
But what about
that
OF for
part of that observation is not necessary. Yeah.
Instead of like where you tune in and like you're paying money to like watch people like have sex, you tune in to watch people just be pricks. So you just get put down. You just like so to avoid having like a relationship. You're like when you're feeling needy, when you're like still got a really codependent attitude, and you just wanting to be put down by somebody, but you don't want to have to get into something permanent. You can just like dial in like OF, but it's like OA,
the submissive,
only assholes.
person you can abuse.
Yeah,
or
and then
dial
you
up
just go to only assholes
abuser.
and like, oh, hi. And like, oh, yeah, fucking make me some food, cunt. Oh, okay. And then you bring them the food to the screen. No, throw it on the ground. I don't want that. You go, no, did you make a mess in your own house, you stupid bitch? You know what I mean? Oh, I'm sorry. You know, and then like, so you could have like only assholes. People could subscribe. Like, instead of like $6.99 a month, it's like $699 a month.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, it's like, fucking, but I fucking put the money in there. I'm not going to abuse you next week. You know how much it fucking costs to get abusive? It fucking costs me. I'm going to get fucking cancer and die, you cunt. I'm dying of cancer for you.
Making
just so you can be entertained.
Automatically getting sick from it. That's right. True.
Just dies on stream from just the pure anger.
Achieves perfect angriest dog.
Yeah, achieves
ultimate angriest dog just by dying.
Just comes down.
The angel of David just blesses him.
Lynch.
It's your time. Come with me. I was a good asshole, wasn't I? You were the best asshole.
You were the best.
You were the best asshole.
That's right. Yeah.
You were so much of an asshole. You killed yourself. You killed the best. You were the best asshole with your own
just
anger.
Collapses. That's it. Just pure fucking.
Had to happen.
Yeah. That's it. His subscribers are like begging him to come back to life. Like, I'll give you more. I'm sorry. I didn't get you the money today.
I'm sorry. I'm fucking done. You can't fuck off. Had a great time while I was there. Nice knowing you. Yeah. Life, son, eh?
Oh, wow.
It is a thing.
I've got a question I'm going to ask the AI.
It's not Skippy versus Leyland Brothers, is it?
Hang on. Don't waste the point. Don't waste it. I'm just going to ask Jack something. I've figured out my question. 1/10 the resolution.
The reduction
of the pose. I've remembered, not realised. Remembered that the hands are only 1/10 the resolution. Like a finer detail. There we go. I got to run a different scale of filter on the hands. I assume maybe that.
We do like our assumptions.
Times.
Still very pleased with the AI background stuff, so I think that regenerator was pumping out. It's good.
Why do the hands work? Oh, that's fine. Preview. So, hands.
Tweak.
Sorry, I'm just going to be distracted for this bit.
All good. Much tweaking.
So what I'm doing is, I've kind of realised that I've got to have a separate set of formulae for the hand. So the beta needs to be times 10, eh? And then the blast threshold should be
blueberry flavour
times 0.1.
Does not contain real blueberries.
Correct. So I need down here.
Still a tasty treat.
Oh.
It's like camping food, you know, like army ration.
Yeah. Well,
keep you alive, but not very tasty.
Hands. Bin cut off. Ugh. Snacks, eh? Yeah. Hands 3D. Preview cut off. Hands 3D cut off. Threshold. This may or may not work. I mean, I don't know.
Subject to testing.
3D meta thing. Yep. 2, 3. Oh, this is per coordinate. That's what I was saying. You can have it like completely. This is so cool. Yeah, right. So I'll try just that. And I don't know. This might work. So it might do something. Well, so we'll do something.
It'll work. It'll be completely broken.
Yeah, or it might just be minor. you know, it's not. I guarantee, because that's the 2D pipeline. It is quite quick. I don't know. So let's calibrate.
Using extreme methods to get your point across.
Well, I think when I get this right, I'll be able to. It's not there yet, but when I do get there, I'll be able to hold my hand in a fist.
Fisty hand.
Oh, pretty much. Yeah, I reckon. I don't know what that did. Whatever that I thought I was going to do, it didn't do it.
No,
alas,
not happy.
That's an amplification of velocity. It's a 10x. Yeah, that should be. I wonder what else there could be. It's something in the orientation. Let's fucking know it.
What is it about fascism that makes people so cranky, Si?
What is it about fascism?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think anything I could say would be really simplistic, and that needs to be said first up. And I guess is that the usual strategy is that the fascism is kind of to use something within yourselves that you can treat as the enemy that needs to be removed.
Yeah.
And then you can make that, and so you make that the thing to constantly look for and root out as the evil. And you kind of occupy the population with trying to protect itself from the worm coming out of its skin, you know what I mean? While giving it the medication every day to make it see worms.
Yes, yeah. Or, trying to get the most blonde-haired, blue-eyed people you can get,
Well,
I guess it depends on your predisposition. That's what I was after. There we go. Because, maybe some people think that, a very heavily melanin type person with hazel eyes is far more attractive than a blonde-haired, blue-eyed person,
Well, attractiveness.
Because it really, it then just boils down to preference, really, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. In that same way, I remember I was working at this place in Brisbane for a brief period. On the south side, I was a marketing person.
Yeah.
And for an installation place, and then cruising through the area, and dropped this two Israelis, like a guy and a girl. So I'm probably. It's post. Is it? When is it? Is that like So it's post like the early. But it's actually around 2000. I had the house up in Gympie still.
Yeah.
So it's around 2005, whatever. So anyway, these Israelis come through. It's kind of go. They're selling paintings. I mean, I'm just going to say like that sort of is that I just was immediately like a zillion percent. It was like a zillion percent attraction. And I have since observed that like that kind of like there's a girl down the in a coffee shop makes coffee and they react exactly the same way.
About them, yeah.
Well, not even an air. No, I don't even know that air is the word. But it's reversed too. Like that girl, she didn't like the girl at the coffee shop. There's a girl on the bus. As soon as I got on the bus, she's like 20 years younger than me or something. She just like totally glowed, like a bazillion glowed, And I was I just completely glowed too. And then we both realized that we're on a bus and, and what I'm trying to say there is I think that there is actually, I didn't even look. Like I was barely even, it wasn't like I'd had time to, she's got nice titties. I've got a bit of a semi.
Sometimes it's not about that.
It was like genetic. It's like, so when you're saying like, it's preference.
Got the link. Yeah, the link can start happening,
it's the closest thing I could have to when people say, it's not a choice that I'm gay or something like that. Or it's not a choice that I'm hetero, that it's like, I can't help. Like I look at someone who's like that Israeli kind of thing, and it's like, I just go through my heritage. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And my brain just goes, ching. I'm like the character from like some Looney Tunes cartoon where your mouth drops open and it's like ridiculous.
Oh, the wolf sees the pretty girl.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like really next level. Like and I can obviously I can control myself because
you're surrender, and all of a sudden your zip just starts undoing, and you're banging it out on the table.
But what I want to say about that is that they respond in a similar way. And I'm not saying that means I can get on with anyone, whatever.
No,
there is a particular thing.
But there's
and you kind of both then realize that it's not whatever, and that you then. But I think that happens. I think that why do you see people cruise down the street and it's like, oh, how come the Asian guy always gets the Asian girl, or how come that person's always with that person? How come the green-eyed, more melanin-skinned person is with the other green-eyed? And I think there's like something actually like like
there's a mechanism where your similarity feels attractive.
Yeah, it's fully like
exactly.
Yeah, definitely. There's a thing that's going on there. I think so.
What's closer to you? Yeah. You want pretty much locking it in.
So like pulling that right back to what you were saying about attraction. I think somehow there are things that are beyond just
exactly. Which are you've grown up, or you've been something built in makes you. Yeah, don't worry, man. I've had situations like that where I've been working, and what I'm like with work and pleasure. Like they don't mix. I'm not a company pen dipping kind of person.
Wise.
But while I've been doing my job, like there's been situations where I felt exactly the same way. Just like just hit it off with this person. She was very nice and just had all the right, requirements that just go chink, 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 chink. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a real sexual thing, but it was more like just a buzz going on. It felt right. Like it felt like it, if it was going to go somewhere, it would have gone somewhere. But only because I noticed that she was, seemed to be involved with the other person there, that I just went, too complicated, because they were too friendly with each other. I thought, there's something else, behind the scenes going on there, and I don't want to muscle in on someone else. I had the intuition to go, no, there's something else going on, and I'm not muscling in on someone else's territory.
And that's the thing about that kind of attractiveness is that it doesn't. You don't actually have to then.
It doesn't have to be fulfilled. It was just there was a moment. There was a moment thing going on there, and that it's nice, but nothing's going to happen.
That's something. We have higher functions. We aren't like, the lesser creatures, are we now?
We're not dogs. We don't just fuck each other for no reason. Has to be some sort of connective thing going on.
That's right. It could be like beers, like...
What do we look like? Fucking animals?
let me do 2 more shots of gin and have another discussion about...
Yes. I need one of those Colombian cigars to follow it up.
It's like,
before I put my furry suit back on.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, brother.
Hey? In the bedroom barking like a dog? Well, why not? Why not be on the street? People are proud to wear their little collar or their thing, whatever. Like, you don't have to be a furry. They're not related. Like, I'm just, because, it's kind of fun. So, like, if you want to have the, like,
they think that someone just wearing ears and a tail is
if
a
the
furry.
asshole thinks that it's hard, like, that they're challenged by a furry, wait till people are, like, on leash, on all fours.
Introducing themselves as split cock man,
So introducing, I've got
before
2
my own
beans.
surgeries,
Yeah, the last bastion.
Imagine the brain splitting hemorrhages that would be going on with someone coming
it's a
encountering
smaller-
that in the modern age.
The reef of security for the arsehole is getting lower and lower. Like, you just think about, you used to have like a pretty big buffer around you if you were an arsehole. There was all sorts of degrees of that sort of like phase down to sort of just general sort of grumbler, Baking out with them. And that's about all they could do.
Always cranky, Mr. Always cranky. Or Mrs.
So
Always
you've got
cranky.
this whole sort of like graduating sort of like gradient
satisfied.
scale, And so the real arsehole at the back there, they're like, but that's been eroded. And now it's right up in their faces. Like, I'm surprised they're not just lashing out all over the place.
Creating a lot of opportunities for them to slip out of character.
Oh, very much.
Skippy versus the
Skippity.
Leyland brothers, mate.
Skippity.
So the Aussie quintessential.
Skippers.
Skippity, whippity, whippity.
He's a skipple. That's what he is.
Early learnings of not leaving the house and knowing about the bush.
Yeah, I mean,
Those poor children that got stuck behind the TV at an early age.
Yeah, they knew what a kangaroo paw could do. It's not just a pretty flower. It can stick out from the side of a television set.
Total
and
language.
Just
only translated by
negotiate
Sonny,
peace treaties.
the incredible kangaroo translating boy. I mean, the other family members, like only the kids, not the dad. Like the dad would hear, he'd be like looking at it going, what the fuck is that making that noise for, right? But only the kids knew the Skippy language. Did you notice that?
Oh, I didn't really notice it, I suppose. Now you mention it.
If you do watch it and rewatch it or
Yeah,
whatever,
no, I get
Skippy the bush kangaroo. Yeah, only the kids knew the Skippy language. Their parents didn't understand it. That was the whole premise of the movie, the show. Only the kids knew the Skippy language.
There you go. And were the adults sort of aware there was sort of like a general idea going on? And would they sort of gather the child if there was a
funniest
need?
thing is Skippy was the oldest member in the kids' team when they used to go up and do stuff. Like Skippy was left as the adult. Skippy was the adult in the team. Yeah. Well, who knows what the ranger paid him to look after the kids, Wouldn't have been much.
No, especially
A couple of carrots or whatever, Bit of tender hugging at night, keeping the old ranger warm,
Warmth, yeah.
keeping the Skip warm.
Snack. So like you sort of
Because
feed your
Skippy
snacks.
was a girl
Wild embrace.
kangaroo. She was a girl kangaroo, like a lady kangaroo. It wasn't a male Skippy. It was a female Skippy. So really, Skippy was the babysitter. It was like an Australian version of the babysitter club. The old ranger giving Skipper a nice bowl of carrots and favorite eucalyptuses. Yeah.
I don't think a kangaroo should ever eat carrots.
Not good. Yeah, it's just like heroin. Carrots are like heroin to kangaroos. So don't feed them carrots. So yes, the great bush example of the Skip versus the incredible travelling prowess of the Leyland brothers side. All over the countryside.
I like the land.
Much footage, man. The amount of footage those the two families, managed to pull, man. The incredible archiving.
Were they brothers?
I don't know if they were officially, but for
they were.
television, yes. They were officially television brothers.
And they had families and stuff, didn't they?
All families, man. They went with them. They did all the school via the fucking radio, mate. Most of them did school by radio. It was like the Aussie version of the Future Nomad, like Future Nomad training. There you go. In the future, they'll use the Leyland brothers as a training manual for nomadship. And what'll happen is the bush tucker man, the legend, he'll be escalated to nomad god. He of the most learnedness, short of, talking to an elder, of course, second highest authority. Australia's a version of the St. Nicholas, the patron saint of travellers? The St. Les, patron saint of Aussie bushmen.
St. Les.
Sir Les.
Sir Les. Sir?
He did get something, didn't he? Sure, he got something, like an award for his work. I know a lot of it was paid for the army because they used a lot of that information on the living off the land kind of stuff, in their training systems, didn't they? Pretty sure they did. Yeah, it was awesome watching him, man, doing all the, gatherings, things to eat, things not to eat, the good versus the bad, So it looks like my pizza was enjoyed, devoured.
Good.
Dad always makes a good pizza. It's dinner. Clarence's big football head and big legs. I don't know. Sometimes I understand why it just, angers so many of the characters in there. They tolerate him, but he easily angers them. Punchable. That's what the head shape is. That football, regardless of whether you want to kick it or you want to punch it, like in Aussie rules, right? You could do either. You could punch that football or you could just kick it real hard. Hey, especially when it doesn't have a mind of its own, when it just follows blindly. You just want to handball it so hard that it just flies off, I think we've lost sight. Special cyber mode. You're okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
That is definitely a very brief moment there. I was drifting off in a thought processing, lost it.
Sure.
Like
processing going on.
Thought thinkings all kind of get melded together and I get lost in all the thoughts. And then just end up in the
We covered
thoughts.
quite a bit of our
reality
special notes that we did.
fades away.
Pre-cheaping notes. We managed to cover quite a bit of what we discussed, which is good, Keeping it coherent.
There was a few early bits there where I didn't really. You were trying to keep the pace going. You don't have to decrease the scale.
Yeah.
Maybe like by 100, not by 10. Must be quite small amounts.
Quick checking. See how the oh shit, dinosaur leather handbag on mine, tubing, 235 views right now. It's blowing up.
That's quite a short space of time. You only put that up, didn't you?
I just put up today. I was going to put up a whole stack of the other catch-up stuff, but I thought, no, I'm just going to drop that one and then see how it goes.
Yeah, let it get its special thing.
It's just banging, man. Just banging. 195 on the cheap version. Going well. I'll drop the rest of the content stuff later. I'll do that tomorrow. I do the retransmission of the edit on the old Twitcheroony.
Yes.
I might even use special music for the opener and the closer.
Yeah, I want to use them. I'm trying to figure out how to integrate the music. It'd be good to have like long acoustic ones and play in the background, maybe without like voices.
I'll do the remove the voice trick. Split it up. You know how we made the karaoke version of the dinosaur handbag. Yeah,
the karaoke
easy
version.
enough to do.
Did you? Let's try.
Well, that was the other thing. Most cultures love Santa. Eh? Best franchise ever.
Why? Why does Santa get a free pass?
Sorry?
Why does Santa get a free pass? That's, I guess, my question. Why? Why does Santa get a free pass?
I don't know. He's just so jolly and friendly and handing out presents. Mum's always got the cookies and fucking milk for him. Like he's well fed. Like, there's much appreciation going on there, for what's done by the, the role of Santa. But, he who giveth the presents.
He who giveth.
Yeah. The one of delivery.
The giving. Well,
yeah. Always ready to deliver at that time of the year.
And we've
when the deliverings need to be done.
Than the taker. Because we don't like the Krampus and things like the other elements.
Krampus was always, he was a negative aspect of the Santerings.
We won't go down that too much.
Best be good and get all the presents than not be good and end up on the feet whipping list. We don't want to end up on the feet whipping list. Definitely not advised.
So, but we did away with those lists. We've got just the happy lists.
Yeah, I know.
I think this is interesting.
Well, that's where we are now. It's
like
Krampus is like, other than the original Germanic special celebrations for Krampus, not many people think about that.
No,
it's moved out of that the dual nature and more into just to give them the gifts.
Yeah, and that doesn't make that there's no kind of balance in that. There's something missing. There's something missing.
Yeah. It means regardless of whether you're good or bad, you're getting a present anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
The whole negative concept of having the coal in the sock rather than the nice shiny toy was the reason why you were good or bad. The reward had was consequence based on actions. Yeah, there was a right way and a wrong way of doing the action rather than just whatever you're doing's okay as long as you're not killing people or taking away their ability to have their own fun. Everything else is your choice as long as it was within the boundaries of the socially accepted norms, or whatever that, level of, not having the insane stamp on the back of your hand.
So you're allowed to do the thing.
Yeah, you can just have your thing going on, if you want to wear the thing or do the thing or pretend to be the thing.
That's why we have jobs where you can
as long
hurt
as you
people.
ain't hurting anyone,
well, no,
then you just do the thing.
That's why we have jobs where you can hurt people.
Well, if that's what you're after, that's true, yeah.
Well,
if that's your preference,
I mean, people seem to make preferences. Got them preferences.
Preferences.
You choose jobs that like make it allowable.
Punishing.
Yeah, jobs that allow you to punish.
Paid to be an arsehole.
Yeah.
You know, it should be there as an option so you don't have to hide. You can be the original arsehole that you always wanted to be. You know?
Yeah.
Be proud to be an arsehole instead of hiding. You know? And then perhaps
You know,
resorting to venting your anger on innocent parties. You know,
I'm just going to put it out there.
That's just wearing a furry suit. You know,
that if you think about like the historical value to society of an arsehole versus a furry, the arsehole probably, at least to the arsehole, has historically had more value. You know, like the furry could possibly like a
well, the narcissist is very business. You know, being a narcissistic arsehole is very business side. It is very business. Okay,
but even if it was just being the town thug, like the police officer,
that's business.
Yeah, it just means that like, you know, you can clearly see how you're like, how is it that me, who's valuable to society,
that's right,
who would defend people like against fun-loving whoever's just making happy days for themselves and everyone around them.
Yeah.
You can just see it like, I mean, it's just outrageous. And it's like, how is it?
Well, you need a bully's bully.
With so little value. I mean, all they do is say gay person. All they do is suck dick. All they do is suck rock. And then they, but they can't, you know, but I will assault people who are, you know, who are wrong. I will assault them. You know, and I have to hide. What is wrong with this society? You know, where somebody who wants to like, you know, protect has to conceal themselves. Like, you know, you're just thinking about how the asshole thinks, like about like their rationale. Like, I saw a man in a dress, and you know, I fucking should have beat the shit out of him right there and then. You know, because you know, like they're you know,
because
what if he went home and like had a child?
Be ultimate arsehole.
God.
That's right.
You know, the police aren't even doing their job.
Like to beat the shit out of people.
The police aren't doing their job. You know, like you're just so worried. Goes up crying to his wife.
Choices.
Oh, you know, I saw another one of them today. Can you just imagine? He's probably a school teacher. Oh, you know, like
going off into their delusionary, you know.
Well, they probably are a school teacher. Like, not trying to like typecast, saying like, why not?
No,
why aren't they a school
not,
teacher? But
those numbers keep going up in America, though.
So I think furries must really going like that. You suck a dick. Like doesn't it shows a little bit in the way you dress and maybe you cruise around, and it can be annoying to the arsehole that you know that you're visible. That you're able to be yourself. So, and they're not. And so they go all the way down. And now we're people in fucking fursuits leaping about. Like it must just absolutely, especially imagine if you're an old asshole, one who used to beat up gays.
I've been messing with their mind side. Like they've been losing their shit.
There'd be assholes alive today who still beat up.
I just have a little chuckle. I love it. You know,
it's like
fucking do your thing. Yeah.
And they must be literally fucking shit.
They're just having a meltdown, mate. Their brain's fucking melting down.
They're making laws.
So all that lifetime's worth of programming is fucking twisting them so fucking inside and out of themselves.
And trying to like, stop it! We need to start genetically testing, and freaking out. And, you know, like I look at a lot of. I've started to realize, and I look around at like a lot of the world we live in, a lot of the legal structure, the structures of allowedness, and
acceptance and tolerance. You know,
the acceptance and tolerance, and it's really about what the people who make the laws accept and tolerate. You know, like it's very like some kind of.
Well, that's mandated by the
by the people in there.
Changes in law.
Yeah, well, it is. Well, but who makes them? It's not like some people, they're not ones who like eat more chilies. They're the average person or not. Like I think that
I would vote for someone who ate more chili.
No, I would too, actually. I think that if they ate like a lot of, well, it depends. Like if
they'd probably be a lot more focused on shit.
I mean,
I know that does it to me. Like when I'm starting to feel tired or whatever, you get that burning lip sensation and the aftermath of a decent fucking vindaloo, mate.
You can push further. You can push further than fucking, but you can go to hilarity where you're hallucinating.
Like those meals, man, that you were having, like with the, you know, the special, was it the salt and pepper squid or something and the fucking chili thing that you had, man, that was crazy ass. Was it chicken, salt and pepper chicken and something?
Oh, no, it was like bird's eye chili with hot English mustard, and mushrooms, and just munching, just eating.
Like, definitely paid for pounded taste buds that night,
Well, you know, you hallucinate.
Yeah, and that's
hilarious.
The best part of it, like the heat hallucination, like that whole...
Yeah, fully, you know. It's quite wild.
Okay. Crossing that pain barrier, that's what it is. It's got a lot to do with crossing that pain barrier. It is a hallucinatory state to get there.
It is special.
We've done pretty well. 3 hours, bud. Covered pretty much everything we'd added and, you know, pre-cheaped about. I think it was just the CCD sees more than we issue that we...
Holy shit, we've recorded 3 hours. Well, I nearly passed out only once.
Done well.
What the fuck?
I didn't even have to use Kanye alarm clock on you.
Oh, thank fuck for that. We can't use Kanye anymore. Kanye's ruined it for himself. Gone beyond it. No, we're not talking about it.
I might have to take it down. Feels a bit bad, you know.
Does he really?
Using a, was it cultural appropriation of a word?
You need to be showing something.
I need to be showing things.
I can't believe we made it to 3 hours. I thought it was 2 hours.
No.
Maybe 2.5. Not even.
I was trying to get those points across, you know, so we can get the
You did
consistent.
well, thank you. That was really good that we did that.
Consistency
really
in
helped.
our topics.
Because it helped me, because then I realised when you were actually going into a topic as well. Like it's so supportive.
Disability support pension assessments more than tripled in 4 years by
Yes.
2024.
Yes. Okay, remember a lot of this is probably new as well. So, yeah, sometimes it can take some time, okay? But don't start freaking out. It'll happen when it happens. Going to get the moolah. Yeah, I think we covered pretty much everything, except for the true scalable, which is one point, which we can probably do next time. And then the sex with monkeys, alien sex with monkeys, how to make a better human. Bestiality used right from the very start.
Well, I mean, it's quite, you know, I don't know. Like if we think there was
Perhaps
a
something we
scene.
can talk about on the next Cheepings. Yeah. We can carry over some ideas, I guess.
Well, it's good. I mean, the seeding,
Seeding for the next chapter.
Yeah, it's a thing. Like instead of trying to insert a complete species on a planet, you come along and find ones that are suitable.
Best genetics, you know, bit of the good old what do they call it?
The angels come down.
That terrible word that a lot of people use. The trying to remember it. Oh, what's that word?
That was the whole thing. Was like it's because the angels impregnated.
Yeah,
so they were able to have
spread the seed around. Yeah. Quickest path to dinosaurs. So many ways of looking at it, Si. That's what makes it so, debatable. Everyone has their own original origin stories and, how it all kicked off and, get the ball rolling,
Get
the balls rolling.
Get the ball rolling. Well, we'll see how we roll next week. I'm going to bet a hand, I can tell you that.
Yeah, we're going to have way better hands.
Way better hands. I'm just going to what am I going to do? I'm going to